All right, get ready, because today we're diving deep into some seriously fascinating church mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a script here just packed with secrets and conspiracies and historical puzzles,
Yeah.
all centered around the church.
It's really amazing how much these mysteries capture the imagination.
Right.
Like, you've got believers and skeptics alike just drawn to these stories.
Absolutely.
There's just something about the unknown, especially when it's tied to something like faith and history.
It's a universal curiosity.
Yeah.
And our mission today is to kind of sift through these claims, separate the fact from the speculation,
Right.
give you a clear understanding of what these sources really tell us
Yeah,
about the church's hidden past.
exactly.
So how about we start with the foundation of the church itself?
Okay.
The script mentions these lost Gospels texts that were ultimately excluded from the Bible,
Yeah.
almost like whispers from the past, hinting at alternative narratives.
Yeah, those are incredibly intriguing.
Right.
One of the most famous examples is the Gospel of Judas,
Oh, yeah.
which paints a very different picture of Judas Iscariot.
Oh, wow.
Instead of the ultimate betrayer,
Right.
he's portrayed as a chosen figure actually carrying out Jesus' instructions.
Wow. That's a pretty radical shift in perspective.
It is.
Why would these texts be left out of the Bible?
Well,
It almost feels like the church wanted to bury some inconvenient truths.
I think it's a little more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Remember, the early church faced a lot of challenges. Persecution, internal divisions,
Right.
the need to establish like a unified doctrine.
Yeah.
Choosing which texts made it into the Bible was a way of kind of solidifying that doctrine and presenting a cohesive message.
Okay.
Think of it like
Yeah.
like trying to create a unified nation
Okay.
from a bunch of independent states. You need a common ground
Right.
to bring everyone together.
Yeah, that makes sense. Striving for unity during a turbulent time. But it still makes you wonder, did the church suppress alternative views of Jesus just to present that unified front? What other secrets might these lost gospels hold?
Yeah. Those questions have fueled debate for centuries.
Right.
There's a real tension there between historical analysis and matters of faith.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that makes this deep dive so captivating.
Speaking of secrets, we can't overlook the Vatican Secret Archives.
Right.
A place shrouded in mystery and speculation. Just the name conjures up images of ancient conspiracies and forbidden knowledge.
Oh, it's easy to let your imagination run wild.
Right.
But it's important to separate myth from reality.
Okay.
The Vatican Secret Archives are actually a vast collection of historical documents.
Okay.
You've got papal correspondence,
Right.
state papers,
Yeah.
records dating back centuries.
Wow.
It's a treasure trove of information,
Right.
but not necessarily the kind that would rewrite history as we know it.
So no hidden blueprints for a time machine or proof that aliens built the pyramids.
Maybe not those specifically,
Okay.
but there are fascinating items in there.
Like what?
For example,
Yeah.
take the correspondence between Pope Pius XII and Adolf Hitler during World War II.
Oh, wow.
These letters provide valuable insight into the church's stance
Right?
during a very complex and controversial period.
Now that you mention it, I remember reading about that.
Yeah,
Historians have been debating the role of the church during that time for decades.
exactly.
Yeah.
The archives hold clues to these historical debates.
Absolutely.
And speaking of things that spark debate,
Okay.
the script also mentions the third secret of Fatima.
Oh, yeah.
This is a prime example of how secrecy breeds intrigue
Right.
for decades.
Yeah.
The content of this message, allegedly revealed by the Virgin Mary in 1917,
Right.
was kept under wraps by the Vatican.
That definitely piques my curiosity. Did it predict the end of the world?
Well-
What did the message say?
When the Vatican finally revealed the secret in 2000,
Okay.
it was interpreted as a vision of the 20th century's turmoil,
Okay.
including the assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II.
Right.
Some believe the Vatican may not have revealed everything,
Oh, really?
adding another layer to the mystery.
It's like something straight out of a spy novel.
It is.
We've got lost gospels, secret archives, and mysterious prophecies.
Right.
Where do we go from here?
Well, from secrets and prophecies, the script takes a darker turn
Oh,
as it delves into what's often considered the church's most controversial period,
yeah.
the Inquisition.
That's a heavy topic.
Yeah.
It's a period of persecution, torture,
Yeah.
and religious zealotry.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that the church's history isn't all stained glass and Gregorian chant.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's crucial to acknowledge this darker side.
Absolutely.
The Inquisition was a time of immense power for the church.
Yeah.
And that power was unfortunately often wielded with brutal force.
Can you give us an example of that brutality?
The case of Galileo. Galileo is perhaps the most well-known.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Galileo is, championed the heliocentric model of the solar system.
Right.
The idea that the Earth revolves around the sun.
Yeah.
This directly challenged the church's Earth-centric teachings.
It's fascinating how something we consider basic science today was once considered heresy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Galileo was put on trial, forced to recant his views.
Wow.
And spent the rest of his life under house arrest.
It makes you wonder, did the church learn from its mistakes?
Yeah.
Especially considering the ongoing debates we have today about the intersection of science and religion.
Yeah, that's a complex question with no easy answers.
Right.
But it's clear that the legacy of the Inquisition continues to cast a long shadow.
So we've covered lost gospels, Vatican secrets, and the darkness of the Inquisition.
Right.
What's next on this journey through church mysteries?
Get ready for secret societies.
Oh, here we go.
The script introduces us to the Knights Templar.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
These guys are practically legendary, shrouded in mystery, whispered about in hushed tones.
Right.
Weren't they the protectors of the Holy Grail?
The Knights Templar were indeed a fascinating order.
Yeah.
Founded in the 12th century, they were initially a military order.
Okay.
Dedicated to protecting pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land.
Mm-hmm.
But they quickly gained wealth and influence.
Wow.
Becoming major players in European politics and finance.
And then, poof, they vanished, right? What happened?
Their sudden downfall in the 14th century certainly shrouded in intrigue.
Right.
They were accused of heresy, blasphemy, and various other offenses.
Wow.
And ultimately disbanded by the Pope.
Was it a genuine threat, or was it a power grab by the church?
The truth likely lies somewhere in the complex web of medieval politics and economics.
Right.
But the mystery surrounding the Knights Templar continues to fascinate. There are endless theories and speculation about their true purpose and the reasons for their downfall.
It's like a real-life historical thriller.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that aren't so thrilling, the script also touches on the very real issue of corruption within the church.
Yes. The church, like any human institution, has been plagued by scandals throughout its history.
Right.
Everything from financial improprieties to abuses of power.
And these scandals aren't exactly ancient history either.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Right.
And the impact of these events on people's faith can be devastating.
Yeah.
They fuel skepticism, cynicism, and a sense that the church is more concerned with power and self-preservation than its spiritual mission.
It really makes you think, does human fallibility taint the church's divine mission?
That's a question each individual has to grapple with.
Right.
It's a reminder that even institutions meant to represent the divine are still run by humans.
We've covered so much ground already. Lost Gospels, Vatican secrets, the Inquisition, the Knights Templar. Yeah.
And the ever-present issue of corruption.
Right.
It seems every corner of church history has its own share of darkness and intrigue.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
The church's story is a tapestry woven with threads of faith, power mystery, and human fallibility.
Yeah.
And it's precisely this complexity that makes it such a compelling subject to explore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that history is rarely black and white.
No, it's not.
But we're not done with this deep dive yet.
Right.
There's still so much more to unpack.
Indeed.
Okay.
We've explored the historical mysteries. Yeah. But what about the enduring mysteries at the heart of the Christian faith itself?
Hold on to your hats, listeners.
Yeah.
In part 2 of this episode, we'll delve even deeper into the unresolved mysteries of Christianity itself. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of church mysteries. So far, we've explored some pretty captivating historical events. Lost Gospels, secret archives, even the enigmatic Knights Templar.
But now we're going beyond those historical events and looking at the mysteries at the heart of the Christian faith.
Yeah, it's a fascinating shift in focus.
Right.
We're moving from examining the church as an institution to exploring the core beliefs that have shaped it.
The script points to some enduring mysteries about Christianity itself, and I'm really curious to unpack them.
Okay.
What kind of mysteries are we talking about here?
Well, let's start with the central figure of Christianity, Jesus.
Okay.
The idea that Jesus is both fully divine and fully human has been debated for centuries.
I can see why that would be a mystery.
Yeah.
How can someone be both God and man at the same time?
It's a concept that has challenged and inspired theologians and philosophers for millennia.
Wow.
There's so many different interpretations.
Right.
For example, some early church fathers believed Jesus' divinity completely overshadowed his humanity,
Okay.
while others saw his two natures as perfectly united.
So even within the church, there have been disagreements about the nature of Jesus.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And those disagreements continue to this day.
Really?
It highlights the complexity of theological thought.
Right.
It's not just a matter of accepting a single fixed doctrine.
Right.
It's about grappling with these profound questions and seeking a deeper understanding of faith.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess it's similar to how scientists are constantly revising and refining their understanding of the universe as they make new discoveries.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Faith, like science is a journey of discovery.
Right.
And speaking of things that challenge our understanding,
Okay.
the script also brings up the question of miracles.
Oh, yeah.
The Bible is filled with stories of Jesus performing incredible feats, healing the sick, raising the dead, walking on water.
Right.
How do we approach those stories in a modern context?
Yeah. Those stories are pretty mind-blowing.
They are.
Do we take them literally, or are they meant to be interpreted symbolically?
There's no one-size-fits-all answer to that question.
Okay.
Different theological traditions have different perspectives
Right.
on the nature and meaning of miracles.
Okay.
Some emphasize the literal truth of these events, while others see them as metaphors for spiritual transformation or the power of belief.
So there's room for both literal and symbolic interpretation.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is where individual faith comes in.
Right.
Each person has to wrestle with these questions and come to their own understanding of how miracles fit into their worldview.
It's interesting to think about how these ancient texts can still spark such lively debates today.
It speaks to their enduring power and relevance.
Right.
And the script reminds us that it's not just the Gospels that contain these thought-provoking mysteries.
Okay.
There's also the book of Revelation,
Right.
the final book of the New Testament, filled with vivid imagery,
Yeah.
cryptic prophecies, and apocalyptic visions.
A revelation.
Yeah.
It's always seemed like the most mysterious and maybe even a little bit frightening book in the Bible.
It's definitely a challenging text,
Yeah.
open to a wide range of interpretations.
Correct.
Some see it as a literal prediction of the end times,
Right.
a detailed roadmap of how the world will end.
Oh, wow.
Others view it more symbolically
Okay.
as a message about the ongoing struggle between good and evil, or a call for spiritual renewal.
So just like with miracles, there's no single definitive interpretation of Revelation.
Right. And that's why it continues to fascinate and perplex people even today.
Yeah.
It invites us to engage with the text on multiple levels, to consider its historical context,
Okay.
its literary style, and its spiritual significance.
We've covered some weighty topics here. The nature of Jesus,
Yeah.
the meaning of miracles, and the enigmatic prophecies of Revelation. It seems like the deeper we delve into Christianity,
Yeah.
the more we encounter these profound unanswered questions.
That's the paradox of faith.
Right.
The more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know.
Right.
But I think that sense of mystery is part of what makes faith so compelling.
It's like we're constantly searching for something just beyond our grasp.
And in that searching,
Yeah.
we grow.
Right.
We evolve. We deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
This deep dive has certainly given me a lot to think about.
Good.
We've examined the church's history, and now we've explored some of the central mysteries of Christian faith.
Yeah.
But what I keep coming back to is this question. Can we reconcile the search for historical truth with the tenets of faith?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
And one that lies at the heart of our entire discussion.
Right.
The script hints at this very dilemma.
Yeah.
On the one hand, we have historical analysis, scientific inquiry,
Right.
and the desire to uncover the facts.
Right.
On the other hand,
Yeah.
we have faith, which often requires a leap of belief, accepting things that may not be scientifically provable.
It seems like those two approaches could be at odds with each other. Do we have to choose between logic and faith?
I don't think it has to be an either-or situation.
Okay.
I think it's possible to embrace both.
Okay.
We can approach both history and faith with a critical but open mind. We can question, we can analyze,
Yeah.
but we should also be willing to acknowledge the limits of human understanding.
So it's about finding a balance.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that both history and faith offer valuable insights into the human experience. They can complement and enrich each other,
Right.
helping us to develop a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of the world.
It's like looking at a tapestry from both sides.
Oh, yeah.
The front might show a beautiful image, but the back reveals the intricate threads and knots that hold it all together.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Right.
Both perspectives are necessary to fully appreciate the complexity and depth of the tapestry.
After exploring the darker side of church history, we've come full circle back to the power and complexity of faith.
It's been a journey of discovery.
It really has.
We've encountered lost gospels, secret archives,
Yep.
and even the prophecies of Revelation.
Yeah.
But through it all, we've seen how the church, with all its flaws and complexities, continues to shape our understanding of the world.
And it leaves us with a lot to ponder.
Yeah.
What does this exploration tell us about the enduring power of faith?
Mm-hmm.
How do we reconcile historical truths with spiritual beliefs?
These are questions that each listener will have to reflect on for themselves.
But one thing's for sure, this deep dive has been anything but predictable.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for part 3, listeners, where we'll wrap up our exploration of church mysteries and leave you with some final, thought-provoking questions. Welcome back, listeners, for the final part of our deep dive into church mysteries. We've journeyed through centuries of history, uncovered hidden truths, confronted uncomfortable realities, and grappled with some of the most profound mysteries of the Christian faith.
It has been quite the exploration,
Right.
From lost gospels and secret Vatican archives to the enigmatic Knights Templar and the complexities of theological thought.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We've examined the church as an institution with all its triumphs and its tragedies, and we've delved into the mysteries of the faith itself, those questions that have challenged believers and skeptics alike for centuries.
For sure.
Now, as we reach the end of this deep dive, I think it's important to kind of take a step back and consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does it all mean?
Right.
What insights can we glean from this exploration of church mysteries?
One of the most striking takeaways for me is the inherent tension between faith and reason.
Okay.
Between the desire for certainty and the acceptance of mystery.
Right.
We see this tension throughout church history, from the debates over the nature of Jesus to the interpretation of miracles and prophecies.
Yeah, it seems like that tension is woven into the very fabric of religious belief.
Absolutely. And it's a tension that each individual has to navigate for themselves.
Right.
There's no easy answer, no single formula for reconciling these seemingly opposing forces.
So what guidance can we offer listeners who are wrestling with these complex questions? How can we approach the church and its history with a critical yet open mind?
I think it starts with acknowledging that the church, like any human institution, is flawed and imperfect.
Right.
We've seen how power can be misused, how dogma can stifle inquiry, and how human failings can have a profound impact on faith.
But recognizing those flaws doesn't mean we have to reject the church entirely, right?
Exactly. Just as we wouldn't dismiss the entire scientific community because of one unethical experiment.
Right.
We shouldn't discard the church's rich history and spiritual teachings because of past mistakes.
It's about being discerning about separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak.
Precisely. And that discernment requires critical thinking, a willingness to question assumptions, and a commitment to seeking truth wherever it may lead.
It sounds like you're advocating for a more nuanced and balanced approach to faith.
Yeah.
One that embraces both reason and belief.
Exactly. It's not about choosing sides, but about recognizing the complexity and richness of the human experience.
Right.
Which encompasses both the logical and the mystical, the historical and the spiritual.
That's a powerful message, and I think it resonates with what we've explored in this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've seen how the search for historical truth can intersect with and even enhance our understanding of faith, and how the mysteries of faith, those questions that have lingered for centuries, can continue to inspire and challenge us, pushing us to seek deeper meaning and understanding.
For sure.
So as we wrap up this exploration of church mysteries, what final thought would you leave with our listeners?
I would encourage them to embrace curiosity, to never stop questioning, and to always be open to the possibility of discovering new truths, even in the most unexpected places.
Beautifully said. The journey of faith, like the study of history, is an ongoing process of discovery.
Yes.
And the more we explore, the more we realize how much there is still to learn. That's it for our deep dive into church mysteries.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring these fascinating and thought-provoking topics with us. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.